What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to From The Bench Vols. I'm your host, Will Meadows, and welcome to our Wednesday edition of the show where we have Tennessee football to talk about once again. And sadly, this time it's not the best news. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. We're going to kind of address the Boo Carter news, talk about, what's the rumors in the air. Before I get into any of that, it is all rumors as of now. We're going to talk about what it could mean for this Tennessee football team on both sides of the ball, because Boo Carter was supposed to play both sides of the ball this year. So we're just going to kind of address that. Not going to be a crazy long episode like it usually is, but I just kind of wanted to mainly address that today and talk about how it could affect the team. But before we get into any of that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, share it, do what you will with it. I would greatly appreciate it, and I greatly appreciate you guys joining me on this episode of From the Bench Vols. So let's just get right into it. Not going to sit here and beat around the bush. If you haven't seen already, there are rumors and reports that Boo Carter could potentially not be on the team next year, which is obviously a huge deal. There's reports that, again, all of this is rumors. Do I think that there's some truth to this? Yes, unfortunately. Obviously, his mom has been going crazy on social media on her end of the thing, on her side of the things. It's not a pretty situation. Obviously, there's guys like Joshua Josephs, Miles Kitselman, some real big leaders on both sides of the ball for this Tennessee team, is not happy with his antics. Again, there's some rumors that I've seen, like I saw one where somebody said he killed somebody. I hope that's not true, but I don't think there's much truth to that. I've seen stuff, his mom even addressed this one, that he's joined a gang back home. Like, I don't know if all of that is the truth. Again, nobody knows exactly what the truth and the real problem at hand here is. It could be money, it could be he's just being a big dummy, it could be a lot of things. In my opinion, I think it's a dumb situation. Boo Carter was a guy who moved high schools 3 times, so there's that. And there was some controversy on one of his first visits with Tennessee. Not going to get into that. But so you kind of knew that Boo Carter was going to not act like this. You didn't know he was going to act like this, but it's not necessarily a surprise. And I hate saying that. I'm not taking a shot at him in any way, shape, or form, because he's an incredible football player, an incredible athlete. In my opinion, if the season started today because Jermon McCoy's not healthy right now, Boo Carter's your most important player on the football team. We know Boo Carter's getting a lot of money to stay here. He kind of voiced that he wanted some more money in the offseason and wanted to play both sides, and he got both of those things. But, again, a guy who's been to 3 high schools, I know he got kicked out of 1. It's just not a pretty scene, and after all the antics and stuff that you've seen with Tennessee football this offseason, you kind of thought that, you're back in the driver's seat. You have a successful SEC Media Day where the leaders of this team are keying in on how important this culture is and how they're relying on these young guys. Boo Carter's not a freshman, but he's still a true sophomore. He was one of the only true freshmen who was a key contributor to last year's team. So you kind of feel like you have everything under wraps and you're ready to start the season, and to see this happen again, it just feels like Tennessee can't run away from their problems right now, which is really unfortunate. But again, it's just there. I will keep you guys updated. The more that this story progresses, I would just call it developing right now. It's just a tricky situation. It's unfortunate, but again, just the team is not happy with his antics. Reports have said that he's been not even plugged in with the team this past summer, and all the things just not there, and missing workouts and all the things, just not what you want to hear when you're 5 weekends away from the season. It's just not at all what you want to hear. Again, like I said, after a successful SEC Media Day, when you kind of feel like the team's on the rise, just in terms of the offseason. So, again, developing. I will continue to update you guys on what it is, but it's just really unfortunate. But there's that. So if Boo Carter were to not play next year, which, again, my opinion on that, they've made it kind of known, not Josh Heupel himself, but that's an opportunity, not an opportunity. Excuse me that I just stuttered that bad, but it's definitely a possibility that he's not on the team next year. We've seen Josh Heupel lay the hammer down already this offseason. So who's to say he won't do it with a defensive back rather than your starting quarterback? But we've seen him do it already this offseason. And if the dude's in trouble, whether that be legally or just with the team, if the team doesn't want him around, again, I could see that as a real possibility. Like I said, I think that this guy is your most valuable football player if the season started today. So it's going to be really hard. It's going to be a really hard decision for the staff in general, but you just can't teach people to be. I mean, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. I'm not going to call them names or anything or say anything. I don't know this guy. I don't know anything. I hope that this is all smoke and that this is okay, but it's not what you want to hear. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but how will this impact the Vols if he's not on the team next year, man? It impacts him in a lot of ways because he is the second best player in your secondary, in my opinion, but he's also a guy that we talked about last week that he's going to play both sides of the ball. So in a receiver room that's already thin, man, you can't hear that one of your best playmakers, again, I know he hasn't played receiver yet, but the dude's a freak athlete. I mean, he's going to be a playmaker on offense. So on the defensive side of things, you're really not enjoying it because outside of Jermon McCoy, I think he's your best player in the secondary. I think he's better than Ricky Gibson, Turrentine, Caleb Beasley, Idris Farouk, all those guys I think that he's better than. And he is just a go-getter. Just turn on a Tennessee football game from last year and he flies all over the field because he plays slot DB. They can kind of move him up into the box, move him back to safety. He's a very versatile guy. It's just he's a playmaker. So you're losing arguably your biggest playmaker on the defensive side of the football, who is also a sophomore, may I add, a guy that has a lot of room to grow. Was one of the best freshman defensive backs / freshman on the defensive side of the football in general, in my opinion. Obviously, you've got your Dylan Stewarts and your Colin Simmons and your Leonard Moores, but I don't think he's very far behind those guys. And just, again, turn on the tape. The dude is an incredible athlete. So you're really losing there on the defensive end of the football, but on the offensive end of the football, man, you've got Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith Jr., Chris Brazzell, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley. That's your 5 right there, and Boo Carter's your 6th. Which in this Tennessee offense, again, we've seen these guys rotate in and out a lot. And Rodarius Jackson is a true freshman. Travis Smith Jr. is a true freshman. Braylon Staley is a redshirt freshman. Mike Matthews has less than 100 yards receiving in his career. Now, we know that he is a very highly touted former 5-star recruit. You guys know how I feel about Mike Matthews. I think he's going to be incredible this year. But, I mean, you're not looking at a lot of names that's put up big numbers in this offense. Chris Brazzell, obviously an experienced guy, is going to be a junior this year, was good at Tulane, didn't show all of what they thought he would this year, another year in the system. This past year, another year in the system, he could be that guy, but you're not in the position where you want to lose another playmaker right now. So it's going to be I hope it doesn't last this long, but up until the season, this will be the most important storyline for the Vols until September or late August or middle of August. It's just, I know some people, and I can fully 100% understand this, the side of nobody's bigger than the power T, get them off the team, and if these rumors hold truth. Again, so people are so quick to say that. Again, does he have the best track record? No, but until it's confirmed, I'm not going to believe anything. You know what I'm saying? But it's so easy to say nobody's bigger than the power T. Yes, but again, this kid is the most valuable player on the football team. It's just really hard to just kind of sweep him under the rug as quick as some Tennessee fans are doing it. And I more than understand it. I understand the mentality. I understand that the culture has to be established. Josh Heupel has really drilled in on this culture, so it's going to have to be established. And if your leaders like Miles Kitselman and Joshua Josephs, both very experienced guys on both sides of the football, are having a problem with it, then everybody's going to have a problem with it. So it's just, excuse me, it's just not a pretty scene at all. And Boo Carter, again, I will say I was down there during not SEC Media Day, but Media Day for the football team, and I did not see him down there. I saw a lot of other pieces of that secondary, Trey Poteet, who's a freshman, Jermon McCoy, Ricky Gibson. I saw a lot of guys. I saw all the receivers down there, Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith Jr., all those guys. Like, I saw them down there. I didn't see Boo Carter. Again, I didn't see everybody on the football team at all. So don't let that hold too much truth. But it kind of seemed like it was going by position groups, and I didn't see Boo Carter there. So it's really unfortunate. So again, it's developing. We'll see where that goes. I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you think of all this craziness. Because, again, it is craziness. It is so unfortunate that we're having to deal with this. I say we. That Tennessee is having to deal with this close to the season when you've had this crazy of an offseason. So, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments, what your thoughts are about this. Oh my gosh, it just makes me mad even thinking about it. But, again, I appreciate you guys for joining me on this episode of From the Bench Vols, and I will see you on Friday. Go Vols.